Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Because the last video I uploaded about my England football shirt collection was did quite well, I thought I would do an update then. So what I thought I'd do is go through them all, talk through some of my favourites, talk about the history of some of the shirts as well. I've just noticed I've dropped one down there. Back in there you get, you cheeky little... So yes, before though we start, let's address the elephant in the room. I know what you're looking at straight away. You're looking at this baby here thinking, oh wow, he's got a 1966 original. No, I haven't, let's be honest. So, in fact, let's get these all out. I don't own any original 60s England shirts, unfortunately. If I did, they would come from a museum or a collector, or, well, maybe one of the footballers themselves. So what are these all about then? Well, they're actually, these two are from Scoredraw and this one is from Toffs. And I always, you know, when it comes to retro shirts and classic shirts, I do keep away from Scoredraw because they're not obviously official. If you notice, the sort of 90s remakes of the English shirts don't have the Umbro logo on, for example. However, I think Scoredraw is fantastic for grabbing yourself a copy of the old 60s and 70s shirts. It's not just for England or international teams, it's for club teams as well. So if you're a Man United fan, if you're a Bristol City fan, a QPR fan or a Chelsea fan, whatever, most likely you'll be able to find remakes of the 60s or the 70s jerseys that they were wearing back in the day. The thing is, back in the day, the original jerseys from the 60s and the 70s, which are more like jumpers to be honest, were not available to buy in the shops really. Not like obviously they are today or in the decades that followed. So if you want to grab yourself a 60s and 70s original, you're going to have to pay possibly hundreds for it if they weren't commercially available. So if you want to grab yourself a really nice copy, I always advise going to sites like Scoredraw and grabbing them from there. This one, however, that I had at the front of my collection is an official England remake. And it's cut from Toffs. Toffs you may know as well, an online store that do really good remakes of the sort of 60s, 70s, in fact even earlier 30s and 40s shirts that were never available commercially. So again, if you want to get yourself a nice copy of them, there's some great stuff on Toffs. Let's get into the real deal then. Let's start with the most recent, moving to the past. It's the shirt that, oh yes, it smells of disappointment from July 2021. Oh, actually smells a little bit sweaty as well. I decided to get the shirt printed with Mr. Harold Kane. So a lot of people talk to me about getting name and numbers printed on their shirts. I know a lot of people say grown men or grown women getting them is a little bit sad. And to be honest, I kind of agree, especially if you get your own name on. There's nothing worse when you see a football shirt, really nice football shirt, and they've had printed on the back like Big Barry 69. Yeah, bad. However, what I will say is I like getting the name and numbers printed because I'm a football shirt collector. And what I will say is if down the line you want to add value to your collection, one of these shirts blank compared to a shirt with the England captain name and number printed on, this version is going to be more expensive. And that especially goes to the more retro shirts. You'll notice if you want to buy a classic England shirt online from, say, classicfootballshirts.co.uk, the printed ones with an old name and a number are a lot more expensive. However, sometimes it's not always the case. We'll talk about that in a little while. The shirt before that then, this one reminds me of the summer of 2018, possibly the greatest summer of my life. Oh, wow. So this was worn at World Cup 2018 when we got to the semi-final. I've got a couple of these purely because one of them was a medium and I outgrow it, so I had to get a large. I have actually misplaced another one of these shirts somewhere. I had one printed again. To add value to the shirt, I got a name and number printed on it. You might have seen that actually in the last video. I have no idea where it is, but it's got printed on it John Stones number 5. Because sometimes the more kind of rare and left field name and numbers you get printed on the shirt, the more value you can add to it as well. So from a positive-ish couple of tournaments to a very negative tournament, let's go back to 2016 when we were wearing these shirts. Now I will be honest, I'm not a huge fan of these shirts. They feel like training kit, to be honest, especially the home shirt. These sort of colours on the arm. Also a very disappointing tournament back then, obviously under the Roy Hodgson Also a very disappointing tournament, Euro 2016, the Roy Hodgson era. So speaking of the Roy Hodgson era, this is the shirt worn at World Cup 2014. If you don't remember World Cup 2014, I don't blame you. Blinking, you missed it. We didn't have a lot of success there, didn't get out of the group stages. However, I did really, really like this shirt. I think this was the first really nice shirt that Nike made. I will say now I don't have the one that preceded this, the first Nike shirt they created for the 150th anniversary of the England football team. And it was quite a controversial one, that, if you remember. It had like a very thick kind of navy collar that went around, a sort of circular collar, but it was almost black, so many thought it looked like a Germany shirt. However, this I thought was really slick, really nice. I really like the collar. I really like the simplicity of the badge surrounded in white and the silver badge there as well. I like that they've got here this, I swear every shirt that comes out every year has got some new technology to keep the players cool, but having played football in this one, I did actually find this did keep me cool. So yeah, I really, really like that shirt. It's just a shame, obviously, we didn't see the England team playing it for too long. A tournament we've kind of forgotten, but actually was quite successful, and it was Roy Hodgson's first tournament as England manager. And this was what we wore at Euro 2012. Maybe the tournament was slightly overshadowed by the Olympics that year, who knows, but we actually did okay. Finished top of the group, which was quite hard, and also held our own against Italy, who were really the best team of the tournament. This was the last collection made by Umbro before Nike took over, and I really like these. I like the dark away shirt, the nice collar. This is still really, really lovely to wear. It was great to wear out at the time. Great memories of this shirt when we came back from, I believe, 2-1 down against Sweden to beat them 3-2. And then the home shirt. Now, I'm a real fan of this one. I think Umbro got a lot of praise for their last shirt outing. It feels really, really nice, almost cottony actually. Yeah, really, really love this shirt. I love that it's simple red and white, but if you look under the collar, there's a really nice design there, which is influenced by the training jacket worn by Sir Alf Ramsey, the only manager to win the World Cup with England. So I really love this collection. It's a shame, really, that the shirts got taken away from Umbro, because everyone knows English shirts should be made by Umbro. The shirt that preceded that, and this was quite a controversial shirt actually. It was quite controversial because it was brought in very quickly after the disappointment of World Cup 2010. The thing is, everybody thought we would be wearing this shirt at the Euros, but it turned out to be a shirt made specifically for the European qualifiers. So it was a bit cheeky that now it seemed like England were releasing a new shirt every year. Luckily that no longer happens, but people were expected to pay sort of 50, 60 quid for a new shirt every year. And if it wasn't even being worn at the Euros or the World Cup, it was really no point. I do quite like the design though. It's very original. This very long sort of buttoned up bit here. I don't know, there's no buttons on it actually. It's quite a tunic look to it. And if you look here on the back, they've got these multicoloured St George crosses, which I think are a really nice touch, and they were supposed to represent diversity in England. And also, I should point out, I'm actually wearing the training jacket that the players were wearing back then. There was a lot of emphasis on blue before the final shirt, which was red and white. They went for more blue and white design, but I really like this shirt. I really like it, and I thought I'd wear it for today's video because yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Worth mentioning also that I'm not a big fan of the home or away shirts, but there was a third shirt that came out with this collection, which I mentioned in my last video, which was a kind of a navy-ish, and if I remember, there was hints of purple and dark blue and light blue. It was such a nice colour. It's the shirt I believe we beat Germany in just before the tournament started. Huge fan of that. Cannot find it anywhere. If you've got one of those shirts, hang on to them, or if you don't want them, get hold of me and I'll buy it off you, because I'm such a fan of that shirt. So as I said, 2010 was a very disappointing tournament for England. It was one of those years where we were convinced the golden generation were going to lift the World Cup under Capello, but it was, if I'm honest, probably my least favourite World Cup of all time. Anyway, I'll start with the away shirt. This was an interesting one. If I remember rightly, this it's quite a simple look, but this shirt with the white kind of sleeves there, and the long sleeve version of this was even more interesting, with the kind of the white cuffs. But this was actually announced, if I remember rightly, at a Kasabian gig. Kasabian that year became the kind of unofficial band of England, and to be honest, it's no wonder we didn't do very well in that World Cup if that was the case. But the lead singer revealed it on stage at one of their gigs. But yeah, not bad, not bad. I quite liked this design. It's quite simple. It was something nice you could wear casually. It was just a simple collar, and we've just come away now from the kind of the 90s, 2000s kind of wacky designs of football shirts, and it kind of got into this almost casual wearing style of shirts, just like a nice white collar. You've got the star, you've got the Umbro logo, and I've got two versions of that. The plain one, which actually I picked up in a charity shop for £4 recently, so I'm very, very pleased with that purchase. And I've also got this version, which was printed. I got this printed before the World Cup because I was convinced that it was going to be Wayne Rooney's tournament and he was going to be the top goal scorer and so on and so on. But all I think now when I look at this shirt is I can just see him ranting down the camera after a boring 0-0 draw with Algeria. So speaking of those slightly wacky designs of the 90s and the 2000s, let's take a look back at this collection here. So we'll start with the away shirt. This was worn at the same time as the one I just pointed out there. I think it's actually got a date on it. No, it hasn't. I believe this was worn all the way up to 2009, maybe early 2010. This was an away shirt. At the time, they had this nice thing where sort of home shirts and away shirts weren't being released together. They would kind of overlap. So I quite like that. But I like this design. This Umbro design was used across the board of Umbro. So I believe you had like Everton having a similar shirt design to this, but I like it. There's all these sort of various patterns going on. There's like diagonal, not sure if you can see, sort of diagonal stripes going there. And I also believe that it was the last England shirt to have the badge in the middle up until the most recent one for Euro 2020. You've got all these sort of Umbro designs along the side there. You've got this sort of pattern up here. This nice sort of sporty, almost superhero type pattern on the back. I quite liked it. I did quite like it. It brings back memories of playing kind of the old Pro Evo games when they were more popular than FIFA, and playing England in them, as does the home shirt. I've got two versions of this. So I think we'll start with this one, which is just the plain shirt. And fun fact for you here, I actually bought this on the day we lost to Croatia in the Euro 2008 qualifiers. And it's a shame, as I said, that the away shirt and this shirt should have been worn at Euro 2008, but of course we did not qualify under Steve McClaren. Again, you've just got this kind of cool design there. I'll pop that one back and show you the other one. So this one I had printed for the same reason, assuming it was going to be Rooney's. I think it came with free printing, and I thought, well, I'll get the man who's definitely going to be top goal scorer at 2008 Euros. But yeah, number 9, Wayne Rooney, and there's just loads of cool little bits and bobs on here. I like the St George flag in the middle, and you've got the date on there as well, telling you that this is going to be the football shirt for 2007 to 2009. You've got, I like the pattern of the name and the number, these sort of little dots in there. Oh, there's a bit of a scratch in there, that's a shame. Got the 3 lines there as well. You've got St George flag on the back. You've got these sort of Umbro designs along here, which again was across the board there. You've got this kind of cooling thing here, this slight pattern underneath the arms. And I don't know if you can notice this, I think this is a really lovely touch. There's a pattern just under the arms there. And for a while I just thought they were kind of random flowers, but I do believe they are part of the 3 lines badge blown up. I think that's a really lovely touch, and I've got fond memories of this shirt. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that one, even though we never qualified in it. Before that then is the shirt we wore at World Cup 2006, another World Cup we were convinced we were going to win with the Golden Generation. It was exactly 40 years since '66. It was in Germany, it was all set up, and it was a very disappointing campaign. So let's start with the away shirt. Actually, let's start with the home shirt. I've got 2 of these because I swear these were so easily available. I swear this is the last kind of affordable England shirt out there. I do really like it. I like the St George flag on the shoulder. I think a few countries with crosses followed suit. I think Sweden and Finland possibly did the same. I like the St George flag just there, and the 3 lions there as well, and underneath the collar, which is a very little collar. You've got a St George cross as well. So I've got a couple of them. There's some sort of nice striped pattern on the back. Yeah, real fan of that. And the away shirt as well, I thought was really smart. You've got this nice kind of airy St George flag on the shoulder, and it had a nice simple kind of red look. There's always kind of a cry out for a simple red away shirt off the back of, obviously, the memories of '66. However, you may notice straight away that this shirt has been printed, and this is a prime example of adding value to a shirt. If I wanted to sell this one just plain, I might get a bit of money for it, especially around the time of the World Cup. However, with number 7 and especially the main man Beckham printed on it, I can get more for my money. So that makes it that little bit more rare, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, big fan of those shirts as well. The next selection comes from, I would say, a more successful tournament. And this was from Euro 2004, a tournament I really did feel we should have won. Had Rooney not been injured, I think could have gone all the way. It was his best tournament by an absolute mile. We've got the home and away shirt there, and we'll start off with the home shirt. And I know what you're all thinking straight away. You've all got, other than the memories of Euro 2004, it's interesting to note that this is the first shirt where we wore a star to represent our World Cup win. A few other countries were doing that already. I think we were a little bit typical kind of English, don't want to be too arrogant about it. We thought we'll just hide it on the sleeve. We've got the 3 lines in the middle there as well. It's around the time it came with this kind of England written across, in case you didn't know who we were. And the interesting thing about this shirt, it kind of came as with a free unofficial shirt as well, because if you turned it inside out, you had this on the inside, which looked like a kind of cheap knockoff shirt, but you got a 2-for-1, which was pretty cool. The away one, however, didn't have that. This is the away one from that year. I really love this design. A lot of memories of Rooney knocking in goals against Croatia. You've got a nice kind of, I'm not sure if you can see there, sort of fine sort of dots in there. That's really nice sort of texture to it. You've got the badge with the star on the where the heart is, right there where it should be. You've got this in here, and it says in here Umbro Ecstatic. I'm not sure if that was their kind of design of this maker shirt. It's slightly see-through, very modern actually for its time, and you've got the St George flag on the shoulders as well. Really, really nice. So the next 2 shirts, again, you may have some lovely memories of these. World Cup 2002, yeah, not too bad, but mainly this shirt from when we beat Germany 5-1. I really like this design. It's really, really simple, but also just, I love this strip of red coming down here. They very easily could have released it without the red strip. But no, I really like this here. It's just a really, really cool design. You can just see the hologram image on there as well. Maybe the 3 lines, nice little touches like that. We love that. So good memories of that. And the away shirt, very similar to the following home shirt, was a 2-in-1 as well. So this was the away shirt from that year. Sort of St George's flag there on the collar. A nice texture to it. And if you turn it inside out, you've got the sort of unofficial shirt as well, which I seem to remember, I might be wrong, I seem to remember them wearing the shirts inside out as kind of training shirts around that time, but I might be wrong. So you've noticed there how the shirts towards the mid-2000s were getting a lot more lighter, thinking about kind of the athletic side of the person wearing it, dealing with heat and stuff like that. Now, the shirts that preceded all them are very, very, very different. These were worn at Euro 2000, and wow, I mean, if you own these shirts, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Starting with the away shirt, this might as well be a rugby shirt. It's very, very thick. It feels very heavy cotton. It's this sort of stretchy material, but it's just very, very thick, keeps you very, very warm. In fact, what's quite strange is the new leak of the away shirt doesn't look too dissimilar to this. You've got the England badge there, again with the England. You've got the Umbro badge, Umbro logo there. Now, obviously, bad memories of this shirt of when we got beaten 1-0 by Germany in our very last game at Old Wembley. So that's a real shame, that. The home shirt I really like. I think this is really quite nice. I like this kind of pattern around the neck here and on the sleeves as well. It is a little bit Tesco stripes, but I'm a big fan of it. We've never seen anything like it since, actually. It was a really original design idea. Again, it's very, very, very heavy. When you wear it, it feels almost uncomfortable. I don't know if you can see, very common for Umbro shirts at the time to have this kind of thick line of the logo going across the arms and down and the shoulders, but it's so thick, and when you wear it you can feel all this kind of rubbing against you, and the collar is very heavy as well. It's quite an odd shirt. I like the design, but they definitely were not thinking of the athletes then. So we're now going back to the shirt worn between, I believe, 97 to early 99, and this is possibly, I'd say almost definitely actually, my favourite England shirt of all time. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Great memories of this shirt. When I first got into supporting football in England, this was the shirt they were wearing, and I just absolutely love it. Memories of Shearer, Michael Owen's goal against Argentina, David Beckham's controversial sending off. I just love the design of the shirt, the red and blue under there, and you've just got loads of lovely little details. It's worn a bit, unfortunately. You've got the 3 lions on the button there, you've got the St George cross on the collar. I just absolutely love it, and I like the texture of it as well. You can see this sort of fine line in there, really nice. The badge is absolutely massive. I'm not sure if you can see that compared to the shirts that followed. Absolutely giant. The Umbro logo is huge as well. England, it's really nice. And actually, I think maybe it's why I'm a fan of the most recent shirt, because there's some similarities there. You see the sort of the blue and the red underneath there. There's sort of some similarities there. I really, really, really like it. I need to get an away one from this year as well. So again, if you have one going, do get in contact, because I'd love to get it off you. But yeah, most probably my favourite English shirt of all time. Just even little things like that. Just a thing of beauty. A thing of beauty. You can't beat a 90s football shirt. Now, if you were following England in the 90s, no doubt you'll probably have the most fond memories of watching them play in this shirt. This is the Euro 96 shirt. And as you can see, it's fantastic. Giant badge there, giant Umbro logo. And you may have noticed something else as well. We've been talking a little bit about printing on shirts and name and numbers. Now, unfortunately, the name and number on this shirt has actually devalued it, because although it's an original 1996 shirt, yeah, I love the collar as well. They've got light blue there as well. The printing and the stuff on the sleeves, which is all accurate. This is the Euro 96 official badge. You've got the Fair Play, UEFA Fair Play badge on there as well, and a very bizarre number 21. Can you guess? If you're at home, pause now and fun guessing game. Who do you think the name is on the back? Do you remember right? Robbie Fowler. Now, I love that this is a very random name. It's not a Shearer, Sheringham, a Gazza that you normally see on these shirts. It's Robbie Fowler. The problem is that this printing is not official, and it's been done very recently, and you can just feel it's slightly cheap. It might look the part from there. You might think that looks quite good, but actually the sizing is a little bit off, and it's, yeah, unfortunately it has devalued the shirt. So it's a bit of a shame, but I'm not looking at selling it anyway. This is a cracking shirt that I can wear out during the World Cup. I didn't have it in time for the Euros, unfortunately, but yeah, it's a great shirt. It reminds me of both Euro 96 and Rob Beckett getting pissed out his face at the Germany game during the last Euros. Brilliant. Right, now we're getting into a proper 90s shirt, the peak of 90s football shirts, in fact. I do believe the middle of the 90s was where they hit their peak. It was fantastic. And here we go. 2 shirts that sadly we should have worn at World Cup 94, but we didn't qualify under Graham Taylor. But let's just take a look at these, shall we? Oh, wow. Where to start? Take a look at this beauty. Now, I don't have to talk to you about these collars. This is like Harry Hill size collars. You've got a button-up bit there. It's absolutely insane. You can see, obviously, you can check that's an official one there. A giant badge as well, as was the time Umbro there. But I don't know if you can see, there is a pattern within the shirt, which is a bizarre selection of 3 times the 3 lions badge with Umbro logos, and some are up the right way up, some are upside down. It's absolutely bonkers, and I love it. Who came up with this idea? And can we have more of these in modern football shirts, please? I'd love it if the New England shirt had all this crazy stuff on it. I absolutely love it. This is a fantastic shirt. If you can ever grab yourself one, get it. It's great. You go out in the pub wearing this, you're going to turn heads during the Euros and the World Cup. Trust me. Let's take a look at the home shirt then. I'm a huge fan of this one. Although you might have memories of us not playing so well in them and Graham Taylor kind of losing his rag. But yeah, really nice shirt. You've got the badge. I can't get over the size of the badge. It's about the size of my head. You've got the Umbro logo there as well. You've got this nice little sort of England there. You've got the 3 lions just under there as well. Really nice. You've got this here. Just lovely little touches like that. Now, what you may have noticed, or may not have noticed actually, I hope it comes out in the video, is this sort of pattern on there. Now, you've got this kind of nice zigzag pattern on there. Love that. But on the front, although you've got the zigzag pattern, you've also got, I don't know if you can see that, a giant 3 lions badge there. Absolutely massive. And you've got 3 of them back to back, similar, a bigger version to the away shirt. And then you've got on this side, giant Umbro badges there. You can see that giant Umbro logo. Absolutely bonkers. I love it. We need more of these, more of these. Now, finally, other than the 66 remakes, the oldest shirt I have got, it is an Umbro official, but it was a remake from a few years later. It's not from the 90s, unfortunately. This is an official remake, but it still counts. And this is the World Cup 90, Italia 90 shirt. Really lovely design. I think it's iconic in the sort of, not only just the tournament, but the design itself. I just think it's fantastic. I love the Umbro logos going around the sleeve there. They actually tried to bring this back, I think, for the Everton shirt a few years ago. You've got a nice pattern in there as well. We love these sort of patterns in 90 shirts. Really smart 3 lions there. Really, really nice. Just a really decent Umbro shirt. Now, this one is printed. It's got the number 19 on the back. Now, if you are going to get a remake of these, depending if it's official or non-official, this is an official one. If it's official, it will have the number printed in felt. And if you can, no, that's felt, which is how they were printed at Italia 90. However, if it's plastic, it's really not good. And if it has the name on the back, that's definitely one you don't want to get. You do see a few with Lineker or Gascoigne on there, and I don't even believe that this shirt was ever worn with a name and number on the back. I might be wrong. That might have been the case at Euro 92. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain that if you want to get one that's printed, it is going to have the felt on the back to be kind of worth anything. So there we go, my updated England football shirt collection. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, why don't give it a like? I'd love it if you could subscribe or recommend it to a friend you might think would be interested in it. And I want to say a huge thank you as well for bearing with me. I know I haven't uploaded any content for a little while, but I am doing a batch of recording now, and hopefully I'll be able to get a few videos out over the next month or so. So until the next video, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you soon.